Folks, good morning and welcome to Swing Trading Today. This is Bob Desmond and it is 6 a.m. Thursday, April the 15th. Happy not tax day. It's extended out this year. Happy not tax day. All right, what we're going to go over today, earnings, market, economic calendar, and pre-market activity, and some chart requests if we have time. So let's do it. First off, let's begin with our sponsors over at, you guessed it, TrendSpider. Don't settle for ordinary trading software, folks. Automate your grunt work, speed up your technical analysis while improving your accuracy at the same time. You've seen how many chart requests I knock out in, what, a half hour? 10, 15 at a time? So reduce costly analytical mistakes, find winning chart setups using their scanning software, and time your trades with precision. And for those of you that like raindrop charts, they now have them on weekly and monthly charts as well. So head on over, use that link below, 35% discount code, and they have a 7-day free trial offer. Watch their demo tour. And they have TrendSpider University. A lot of tutorials here teaching you about the software. So check it out, 35% discount code, TrendSpider. Okay, let's take a look at the economic data. You know, yesterday we had where is it? Here we go. Import price index, which came in a lot hotter than expected. The prior day to that, we had the CPI index, consumer price index, come in hot, meaning inflation is on the rise. They beat expectations on the core, meaning that's when you X out food and energy, and on the headline number. But Jay Powell is going to ignore all this. He said as much. But on Tuesday, when he thought the markets would drop on the news, they did not. You would figure yields would rise, tech would drop. Nope. There was a delay. It happened on Wednesday. So beware of the potential for rising yields. This is not an environment where one would expect to see yields declining. So tech stocks, while they are up this morning, I'm still wary of them. They could still make new all-time highs for all I know. This is a manipulated market. So beware. Today being Thursday. Oh, by the way, tonight, Thursday night stock futures live. Thursday night stock charts live, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us here on YouTube. What do we have today? Retail sales at 8 a.m., big number. Empire Manufacturing Index, also a big number. Industrial production. We have a lot of economic data today. The problem is that it's earnings season, meaning silly season. Oh, we have initial jobs claims as well at 8:30. So let's take a look at earnings. Today, Taiwan Semi. Watch this number. Huge. Delta Airlines. Are we opening up, or are they not seeing a bump? Pepsi, we have Bank of America, more big banks along with Citigroup today. I believe these are before the bell. U.S. Bank Corp, BlackRock, more transports coming out today, as well as Alcoa. So a lot of earnings data coming out. Yesterday you had JP Morgan come out. Wells Fargo, which ripped on the day. Goldman, which ripped on the day. And I believe JP Morgan closed down on the day. Tomorrow, Morgan Stanley, more transports, Kansas City Southern, and some additional bank stocks. So, earnings season is open. Let's get to the pre-market futures action. Okay. Let's go to a 4-hour time frame. Let's open things up with equities. S&P 500. We broke a rising ascending wedge formation yesterday. This morning you're seeing a pop up higher. The 20-period moving average in blue acted as support. We're getting a pop. Now, a lot of economic data coming out today. If you see a big drop in initial jobless claims, you might see a pop higher in yields. Why? Because that's a sign that the economy is on the mend. Yields should rise to avoid inflation, and the tech stocks aren't going to enjoy that. So while we're up this morning, just beware. We broke support yesterday on a 4-hour time frame, but daily volume was very light. The Russell 2000. Very volatile session yesterday. They rallied, then dropped back down. Now they're rallying yet again, up just shy of a percentage point. We've been here before. This type of a breakout, it happened back here on the 2nd of April. We failed to hold. We did it again here on the 6th of April. We failed to hold. So we'll see what happens here on this new breakout. But this morning, the Russell looking healthy. The NASDAQ 100 up just over a half percentage point. We had broken support by the end of business yesterday. Now we have recaptured support. Do we hold it? Jury's out. Here's the lower band of support in red. What I want to do is I want to set up an alert. All I care about, new daily highs, new daily lows for the most part. We don't day trade. Okay, and let's draw a trend line here. All right, so we'll be watching for a breakout by the end of the day. We're flirting with one right now. This bar opened up at 5 a.m. about an hour ago. We'll see whether or not it holds. Taking a look at the U.S. dollar. The dollar had a rough day yesterday, had a rough day the day before. We are down again this morning. We're struggling to fight back. We had broken down below the lower band of this descending wedge formation. More of a downtrend channel, I guess, than a wedge. RSI is beginning to hook up. We may pop up higher here, but I don't think it's going to hold. The dollar very weak, as it should be. We printed 25% of all U.S. dollars in existence were printed in the past year. Let's take a look at how J.P. Morgan is opening up today, catching a bid, but a horrible day yesterday. Goldman. Looks like we're going to press up higher here. Nice base on Goldman. What else do we want to take a look at? Gold. There we go. Gold is up $11. Really strong consolidation here. It looks as though we may break out on gold. The only threat is a rising U.S. dollar. But this is a nice sound base here on the price of gold. I just want to check out the GDXJ really quick. Sorry about that noise. That drives me crazy. GDXJ, of which we are long pulled back yesterday, catching a bid this morning. Okay. Coin, let's see what that's doing today. This just IPO'd. 5-minute chart. Consolidating. It's going to be hard for us to catch a real drift of how coin is trading until we build some data on a daily and weekly time frame. But it looks like on an intraday time frame, we're consolidating here. All right. Let's check out the bond market. Looking at the 10-year Treasury bond. And don't get too comfortable, folks. If you're betting that bonds are going to drop here, it doesn't appear as though they're going to. It looks as though they're ramping up for a breakout, which is going to drop yields. Hey, JW. It's going to drop yields. But that could all change with today's economic data. But the RSI is trending up higher. And that is dovish for yields. Interesting. Okay. What else do we have? I haven't looked at nat gas in a while. And for good reason. It's very weak. Very, very weak. Four-hour chart. We've broken support here. No, there's no trade here. Soybeans coming off their lows. All right. I think we're good here. We have a good feel for the markets, whether they be agriculture, whether they be commodities, equities, bonds. I think we covered the spectrum here. Oil. Coming off of its highs, but consolidating nicely. Bitcoin. Up, but coming off of its highs. Okay. So that's the market. Let's take a couple of chart requests. I got to go to the members area. Excuse me, my awkward pause while I pull this up. All right, what symbols do we have today? All right, Google. The Google. All right, let's bring it up. Let's go to a monthly chart. I haven't looked at Google in a while to get a feel for what we're doing. Very nice chart. Very, very nice chart. Monthly time frame. Outstanding. Weekly chart. No new weekly high so far. So a bit of a pause here. And as you can see here, folks, raindrop charting. This is proprietary through TrendSpider, now on a weekly and a monthly time frame. For those not familiar with raindrop charts, it's a mixture of volume-weighted moving average and VWAP, volume-weighted moving average, and candlestick charting, early, first cup of coffee. So it's very helpful when you're trying to identify trend reversals, and I use it a lot for trend reversals as noted by these blue raindrops and buying pressure into the close. You want to see ideally green if you're long with a big fat belly on the right side. The right side of a raindrop is the afternoon price action. The left side of a raindrop is the morning action. And you want to see a big fat round belly, and that shows you that there was buying into the close of your chosen equity or commodity, whatever you're trading. Daily chart, Google. Eric, good morning to you. Google flashed an outside reversal bar yesterday. I didn't want to do this. My bad. So here's our support levels, excuse me, support and resistance levels. I have to side with bulls here because you have the monthly and weekly time frames, which are very bullish. So when in doubt, take a look at the weekly and monthly time frames, and the probability of a continuation move higher in this case is likely if the overall trend is up. So I remain bullish on Google, but I'd set alerts here. I wouldn't buy until we hit support, so that way I could set a tight stop. We'll keep this active for about a week. I would also entertain adding more, or if we don't pull back to support, buying the breakout, but only on a closing basis. So no sensitivity. I only care about where it closes, not what it does intraday. And again, we'll keep this active for 7 days, and we're good to go. Set it and forget it. And here it is up here in the upper right sidebar. Okay, we have, what's the next one? XOM, ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil is looking very good here. This is a monthly chart. We broke out above the 55.50 mark last month, I should say, sorry. We faded on the month last month. This month we're doing a retest of support. Weekly chart. Very nice. Very nice consolidation on ExxonMobil. Hey, Paul, good morning to you. Watch for a breakout between 58.06 to 58.62. I like 58.62 because that's where your resistance level is on this VWAP bar. So we're good to go here on a breakout on Exxon. As a matter of fact, frankly, let's go to a daily chart. Yeah. So another entry point. Our train. Good morning, Bob. It's Money Thursday. That's funny. Good morning, our train. All right. So we have resistance at 57.59. Very attractive as a place to buy the breakout. One thing I want to point out is actually two things. One, we've broken out on RSI. Very positive. Two, this is what I mentioned earlier on these raindrop charts, what I look for into the close. We look for that big fat pregnant belly on the right side, green raindrop, big fat pregnant belly. This implies that you saw buying into the close. Now, you did see a fade a bit yesterday, but I think that if we close above this resistance mark and we see buying into the close yet again, that's a signal that we'd want to get long of ExxonMobil. So it's looking good. Let's take a look at Visa. I set an alert here. It has not fired off yet. I'm waiting for a retest of support. This is a weekly chart. Daily chart where I also have an... Oh, this fired off. It fired off. It broke out yesterday. My bad. So Visa looking very interesting as a long here. We didn't get the pullback we wanted, but we did get the breakout. Now what I would like to see is a retest of support. Visa looking very good. So members, we may be long a Visa today. And yet again, here's what I want to point out on the raindrop chart. In fact, here, if you go back here, you take a look at this raindrop chart, daily time frame. This is a bearish day on March the 22nd when you're using candlestick charts. The however is the mixture of raindrop charts and candlestick charting picked up that this was actually an indecision bar as measured by the raindrop charts. And you can see soon thereafter, we began to move up higher. So this chart sent you a signal that the candlestick charts did not. And it was off to the races from there. So Visa looking very good. I think we are pressing up higher. Very bullish. I would like to have seen more volume yesterday. But we were up in face of a market that was under pressure. Visa, bullish. And what is that an ETF for lumber? JW? Yeah, it is. Forestry. I think that what you need to keep in mind here is, this is a 30-minute chart. I haven't looked at this ETF yet, but I'm making an assumption. All right, monthly chart, still quite bullish. I was looking at the lumber index a while ago, and it was very overbought. This is not as overbought. I'll come back to this really quick. I want to get a feel for where lumber's at. I think it's bullish. Here we go. Lumber futures. So you can see they've been on a tear. And here's what I wanted to point out. I knew there was one time frame that was very overbought. This is a 4-hour time frame. Now this is a different metric, right? This is milled lumber, okay? Not forestry products. I don't know what the underlying is for wood, so I'm not going to pretend I do. All right, we'll take a look at a 4-hour time frame of wood, see if they match up. So on a 4-hour time frame for lumber, we're very, very overbought. We have RSI over 90. Let's go to a weekly time frame. Not as overbought, but you're nearing nosebleed territories. Now let's take a look at wood. Wood's looking good on a weekly time frame. We have a new weekly high. 4-hour chart. Yeah, there are different underlyings here for wood versus the futures, the lumber futures. I will point out, though, that RSI is flashing a lower high. And I would watch for a lower low. And something interesting I would like to do here is, let's see if we could do this. Wood. Here, let's try it. All right, so this is lumber, the continuous contract. What I like to do is, you're welcome. Now you got me curious, so I have to play around here. What I like to do is this, is check out the correlation. Because with lumber futures so overbought on a 4-hour time frame, you want to see how much of a correlation there is between the underlying contract, the futures contract, and the ETF. And they're pretty tightly correlated. They trade in tandem about 74% of the time. So you'd have to make the assumption that if you get a pullback on the lumber contract, that you're going to get a pullback on wood. So we could head up higher here. It's still a bullish chart, but just keep in mind that continuous contract on the futures, very, very extended on a 4-hour time frame. You might be better off waiting for a pullback, an orderly pullback, consolidation, and then look to re-enter or enter the trade. And it tends to like this rising 50-period moving average on a daily chart. So I think that's your line in the sand for where you'd want to enter. And with that, folks, please don't forget, join us tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click the like button, bell button. If you want to get alerted 15 minutes to a half hour prior to us going live, use one of the links below, 15-minute alert, or our 5-part video series on my 5 favorite candlestick patterns. You'll not get spammed. Only enter your name on one of those email addresses, please, to avoid spam, okay? And with that, everybody have a profitable trading day, and I'll talk to you soon.